Welcome everybody. Welcome to Trading from Zero. So this is going to be a platform where you guys can learn how to trade for free based off the concepts that I know and that I teach. So starting off on your chart real quick, this is going to be about TradingView. Okay, what is TradingView? TradingView is the platform I use to identify the chart, identify price action, and price action just means candlesticks. Okay, this is the platform you're going to want to use. So go to tradingview.com. And you're going to need a subscription if you want updated data. So you're going to need to buy CME data. It's very inexpensive. I believe it's like $10 a month or something like that, maybe even less. I'm not sure. But you're going to need the subscription for updated time, which you're going to 100% need if you really decide on trading. But this is what it is. So you're going to go on your chart, and it's going to look different from mine. Obviously, you're not going to have these candlestick colors and whatnot. But I'm pretty much going to show you how to like navigate your chart. So when you first go on the chart, I'm going to see if I can just open up a fresh view real quick. So now you guys can see TradingView. You have products, community, markets, brokers, more. You have your profile on the top, etc. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to obviously want to create an account, get started for free. And then you're going to go to your products. You're going to go to your super charts. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like for you guys. Dark, confusing, buttons everywhere, not knowing what to do. And I'm going to show you pretty much right off the dome what you should and shouldn't do. First of all, over here, volume, just delete that. Click the little garbage can, click on remove, okay? Now, you're going to right click on your screen, okay? When you right click, it's going to bring up this menu. You're going to go to settings. Then, this is where you can change your symbol color, meaning your candlestick colors, such as these. So if you don't want green and you don't want red, you can change them to other colors right here, okay? For your session, you're going to want to keep it on electronic trading hours. That's fine. Electronic trading hours background, turn this on 0. You do not want that on. That's annoying. Okay, so just put the opacity here as 0. Click on that. 0. All right. Time zone, you're going to want this in New York time. So UTC4, New York. Click on that. Okay. So you guys can pretty much copy exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to leave the colors up to you since that is pretty subjective. Status line, that's not really anything too important. You can honestly just keep it as is. Scales in line. Here, everything looks good. That's fine. Time format, 24 hours. You want that like that. Canvas, this is where you go to change the background of your screen. So if you can see, if I put it on white, it shows a white background. Put it on gray, you put it on blue, purple, pink, whatever you want. Okay. Grid lines, vertical and horiz, you're going to turn this on none. You do not want that on. Crosshair, I recommend you just make that black. So it shows a black crosshair. Watermark, you can just turn that off, put that on hidden. Your text is subjective. If you want to adjust the text size, you can do that. The text color, I recommend just put that black. But of course, if you have a black background, you're going to want white text. Okay. But I like having a lighter background, as you guys can see here. A little bit of a lighter background, a little bit easier on the eyes, and I don't want black though. Black is too much, too dark. Okay. Lines, you just leave that as is, and then leave this as is as well. Trading, this is where you're gonna have your buy and sell buttons in the top left. You can turn that off, or you can turn that on. Execution sound when you place an order. Execution marks as well. If you guys want that on, that shows like your little arrows showing where you executed. Nothing really too important right here for right now. Alerts, just leave that as is. Same thing with events. Okay. So when you're on here, you're going to notice you have these candlesticks. So red means down close candle. So bearish. So that's down. And green means up close candle, bullish candle. Okay. Now on mine, you're going to notice I have my up close candles as white and my down close candles as black. That's just how I like it. It's super easy to identify on the chart. This is just my favorite color combo right here. Okay. Now, if you notice up here, you see this name right up here. Okay. This is called a ticker. So you can search a symbol right here, or you can click on this, and then you have all stocks, funds, futures, forex, crypto, indices, bonds, economy, options. Okay. You're going to want to focus on one thing if you're learning the way that I'm going to teach you. I only trade NQ. Okay. So you type in NQ1. okay? Or you just type in NQ, it's fine. You're gonna see E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures. This is the pair that I trade. I trade NQ. So there's two forms of NQ, okay? Well, there's this TradingView symbol in the left-hand corner. You're gonna need an account, obviously. So you click on NQ, you'll see that it goes to NQ1 right there, okay? If you click on the right side where it shows this little bookmark over here, you can click on that, and then you can see it automatically loads your indices, stocks, futures, forex, crypto. You can honestly just delete these, or just delete honestly all of these. You just start deleting them. You're only gonna want like two things on here. So go to your search right here, you type in NQ, see E-mini NASDAQ futures, you click on that, and then you click on this little save symbol. Oh, you have to join, okay? You'll see on my chart. This says micro E-mini because I like to trade the micros. But for instance, for now, just trade on NASDAQ 100. That's fine. The micros is the same exact thing. So if I go on over to the micros, you will see it's the same price action. It's just micros. So for instance, 1 mini equals 10 micros. Okay, 10 micros equals 1 mini. 1 mini contract. Okay, 1 mini equals 10 micros contract, and 10 micros equals 1 mini contract. Okay, that's all you need to know about that. So if you're trading on micro E-mini, just know you need 10 micros for 1 mini. If you're trading on NQ, which would be the normal contract, this would be 1 mini, and this is the interval. I'm just kind of showing you guys 1 mini would equal 10 micros. Okay, so that's pretty much that. You're going to want to save your stuff here. So just delete all that. You guys can save them by doing that thing I told you, save, and then you just put the indices in here. You guys can click on the plus symbol right here, and then you guys can click on E-mini NASDAQ. I still have to join for free, but you guys get the gist of it. It's very simple to add your symbol here on your watch chart. The second symbol you're going to want to add is called ES. So we trade NQ, yet we look at ES for confirmations. Different later on in the lectures, you'll learn about that. But put NQ and put ES over here on the right side. Okay, they move identical. So NQ and ES move identical. And then if you also want, you can have your split screen. Obviously, you need a plan for that. You're going to need the essentials plan. There are free day trials. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can sign up using my code. That's going to be pretty cool. So you guys can just sign up there. So you can have a split screen. So in since you can have ES on the left, NQ on the right, or ES on the right, NQ on the left, whatever you prefer. But let's get back into TradingView charts. So you have your charts, you have your candlesticks, and then you're going to have your time intervals right here. Okay? Your 1 minute, your 5 minute, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, 75, 6, 7, whatever you want. The ones you're going to want to save are going to be the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the 1 day. So 1, 5, 15, 1, 4 daily. These are like the most important ones. I highly recommend you guys watch these. Okay. 1 minute price action is going to be candlesticks that move on the 1 minute. So each candlestick equals 1 minute. So on the 15 minute, you'll see each candlestick equals 15 minutes. 1 hour, these are 1 hour candlesticks. Each candlestick equals 1 hour. So it takes 1 hour for this entire candle to form. It takes 1 minute for this entire candle to form. And now a quick way to quickly change through your intervals would be on your keyboard. So for instance, if I type 15, just 1 5, see it brings up this little change interval section. Just click enter. Then it brings you onto the 15-minute chart right here. 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, etc. Okay. Stick on the 1 minute for right now. So those are your intervals. You have your ticker symbol, your intervals, then you have your bars right here, your candles. Leave this on candles. Don't put this on bars. or else you're going to look at something like this and have no idea what you're looking at. Don't put it on area, put it on candles. Then you have indicators. These are indicators that you can add. Don't worry about that. Don't really worry about anything here either. Replay mode is if you want to go back in time, and yeah, you need a subscription for that as well. All right, and then all the way on the left side here, you have your tools. So this is where you guys can draw things out. Okay, so if I go here, I can draw out this trend line right here. Okay, and one thing that's really cool about this is if you hold shift on your keyboard, this will lock it in place. So you can see I'm just moving my mouse around while holding shift, and then it's locking the thing in place. Instead of it just being like this, it's like this now. And I'm going to show you on the chart why that's important. If you're marking out a high, for instance, this high right here, grab your tool. You're going to hold control to stick it on. Okay, so now you can see magnet mode is on. As I'm spamming control, magnet mode is on. All right, I got to keep refreshing this or this won't go away. Delete volume. It's annoying. There you go. Grab your tool, click control, sticks it on, click, just left click, then hold shift to drag it out without it moving, like this. You hold shift to drag it out. There you go. Now you have identified a proper high right there. That's gonna take you that's gonna take some time getting used to. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have to train your brain to just quickly, go through the charts like that. Quickly identify lows and stuff, hook them on, etc. Okay. Now you can also save things as your favorites. So if I click on this little arrow here, see trend line, save it as your favorite, and now you're gonna have this toolbar on the bottom. So if I just start saving things here, you have your toolbar, and I highly recommend you have your favorites. For me, I'm gonna go log back into my account so I can show you guys my favorites and what I find the most important. Okay, so now we are on my chart, logged into my account. You can see the tools right here that I have. So I have trend line right here. So trend line will be this one right here. I have that in black. These are my settings for it. Then, go over here. Then I have my long/short positions. So if I'm entering a long position to go higher, bullish, I have this tool right here. So it's going to show where I entered off the middle line, and then it's going to have my take profit and my stop loss. Okay. The default colors for this are going to be something like, oh, I guess because I'm signed in, but it's usually red and green. Okay. So long and short position right here. You're going to want to have that on your chart. Next, I have the horizontal ray. This is just a long ray that extends all the way out to the right. Kind of like a trend line, but it just extends all the way out to the right. Something like that. Instead of it being like this, where I drag it, it just automatically extends to the right. I like that tool. Okay. Next, I have the rectangle box. This is very important. So as you can see, rectangle box. Now I have certain settings for this. You guys can copy this. Rectangle, you have don't extend the border on 0 with these on the lowest thickness. Middle line, okay? Middle line like this, dashed in the middle. And then the background I have like that, low opacity. Okay? So I can identify fair value gaps. And I will make a lecture on fair value gaps. So this is kind of what I use it for. Okay. Moving forward, we have text. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can just type anything you want. I'm going to put the society. So that's my trading Discord. So you have the society right there. Next would be your vertical line. So I don't use this honestly that much at all, but it just marks out your vertical line. You guys, since you guys are beginner, you'll probably be using this for certain things, but that's all it does. Just large vertical line throughout the screen. Next would be your path tool. I love this tool so much. I use it all the time. It's pretty much just like replicating chart price action. You guys can go like this, and then you can right click to turn it off like that. Okay, love that thing. Next is your your cross. So if you're ever in like one of these things here and you want to just get out, you can just quickly click on your cross, which would be up here. So you guys can save all those. You guys can search for them over here, but I find these to be the most important. Oh, I skipped Fibonacci tool. Sorry. This is something more advanced that you guys are going to probably learn about. I don't know about in this series. We'll see. But your Fibonacci tool. So those are all of my favorited tools right there. You guys can copy those, put them in your chart, etc. And then you just save them as favorites, and then you can move your favorites bar around anywhere you want. All right. Now that that is finished, going on the chart, so you know what that does over there. Don't worry about this too much down here. Just kind of leave that as is. Then you have your calendar, so you can go back to certain dates. Favorites bar right there. Then you have your time on the bottom. This just shows the current time. Currently 1:40 in the morning almost. It's kind of late. Keep this on electronic trading hours, and then just leave that as is right there. You have your save stuff right here, so you can see what I have currently. So if I go here, you guys can see what I have. So I have NQ1/ES1, minis, gold and silver, Euro, USD, GBP, USD. I don't trade these, honestly. Delete, get those out of there. And then I have my micros, which I'm on most of the time right here. These are pretty much all I'm on. I don't really look at these that much. Okay. Close that out. Don't worry about this. These are just alerts. Don't worry about this either. This is nothing really too important. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the Pine editor. Don't worry about anything here, honestly. You can enlarge the entire screen like that. You can take photos of the screen just like that. And then you can go to your settings right here, or you can just right click settings, boom. And using this thing on the right side, this is so you can move the chart up and down, I guess you can say, like extend the candles. That's kind of how like you zoom in. Well, you zoom in using your scroll wheel. And then you can, let's say you zoom in all the way. You can shrink price. You can zoom price in. You can zoom out all the way, shrink price, etc. And whenever you want to reset your chart, right click, reset chart view. That'll put you at the candle right here, and then you'll see it's fixed. So you can go up and down, it won't do anything. It won't go up and down. As soon as you click on this and you move it, it'll release it so you can go up and down. Right click, reset chart, it locks it in place again. Okay. Don't worry about these too much right now. Nothing that important. If I go on over to trade in the top right, you can see all your brokers that you can trade with. You can open up paper trading, and then you can just trade with this. Just mess around with this as much as you want. You can go over here. You can click on your name. You can go to the settings. You can reset account. You can set your balance, your currency, whatever you want. Sets you at a $100,000 balance, and then you can start practicing up here in the top left. So you'll see I have micro, E-mini, NASDAQ, and like I was saying, 10 micros equals 1 mini. 1 mini moves $20 per point. To measure volatility and to measure points, you'll see on the left side, you have this measure tool right here. What you can easily do, instead of clicking on your measuring tool, you hold down shift, you left click, and then you can move this around. And you'll see how it says 0.75, 0.75, 1, etc., so on and so forth. Those are your points, okay? Only focus on the number in the top left. So 10, for instance. Those are your points. That's kind of how you measure volatility on the day. So like I said, 1 point on the NASDAQ, 1 point on NQ, not MNQ. MNQ stands for micro NASDAQ, okay? Focus on NQ right now. NQ is $20 per point. So 1 point on NQ is $20. So this, grabbing my tool right here, that little move right there would be $20 with one NQ contract. Okay, if I do 2 NQ contracts, obviously $40, etc., etc. So for instance, you can see this bar right here is moving up and down. If I just grab the measuring tool, you can see how it's kind of fluctuating within points right here. If this candle were to go all the way up here, you know, we would displace 15 points, 13, 12, you just times that by 20. Okay, $20. All right. And then obviously MNQ is 10 for 1. So 10 micros equals 1 point for a dollar move. All right, $20 move. I'm sorry, not $1 move. $20 move. It's late. You can see up here, I have it on 30. So I have 3 minis technically, because remember 10 equals 1. So 30 would equal 3. And then you can go on paper trading right here, and then you can just start buying and selling. So there I just bought 3 minis technically, so 30 micros. You can drag your stop loss down here. So if price goes below here, you would get stopped out. You can set your take profit anywhere. If price goes above here, you win. You hit take profit, you make $690 paper. Then you can reverse the position, which I never want you guys doing. Okay. And then you can just close position out right here. Just click on this right there. That's how you execute, okay? And that's pretty much it for TradingView. This is going to be your entire foundation. Now, obviously, this doesn't really have anything to do with prop firms and other teachings, but just the kind of foundation of how you want to get started and how you kind of want to start looking at price action as a whole. All right. I hope you guys found this insightful. This is going to be a very good lecture on where to get started. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next lecture. Peace out.